want to roll now?
Yeah, let's roll.
Just talk about depression.
Then
we'll
just do it.
We'll
just hit. Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. It's a
right.
good. It's a good opener, right?
Okay. Oh, hold on.
Right.
Welcome to Root Canal. I'm Dan.
I'm Pad.
And this is episode fucking 8 or 9, something like that. Anywho.
12 probably.
Unofficially. Anyway,
unofficially,
nobody cares.
Nobody cares, right. So, 7 signs of depression that you may not have already known about. That's why it's interesting, isn't it?
Is it?
I hope so.
You dope so?
I dope so.
Right, okay.
Right. First sign, you fucking can't pronounce hope, right?
Mm-hmm.
You say things like dope. Or the word doesn't even come into your mind if you're really depressed, right? So that's the first one. Second one is dropping shit, just leaving it there.
Let's dissect these.
Yeah, so the second one is just dropping shit.
Have I done that?
And just leaving it there.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot be arsed picking that shit up. Could be your phone.
Regardless of the size.
Regardless of the size. You could be on a fucking bus, mate. I'll just pick it up later when I get off.
What, your wallet?
I'll just pick it up fucking later. Can't be arsed now.
And what is that? Like, why can we not even be asked to, like, lift whatever the plate after flare? Like, what, so... What is it about depression?
It's because, like, you realise that life is just a meaningless swamp of
Vacuous.
random incidents. Yeah.
Quite,
right, I'll go on. Right?
I can tell you.
In a good mood. I hope this gives you hope.
Happy depression.
Hope this gives you dope. Right, TV's on. Right, fucking remote's there. It's over the other side of the fucking. Similar to the dropping one, right? We're just not going to get repetitive. We're going to mix it up, guys. Don't just stay with us. TV's on. It's a load of shite.
I've got an adage to that.
Fucking hell, you're
I'm
cutting
sorry,
me in.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but
right,
I had
TV's
to
on, right? Danny's going to add to it. TV's on. You just fucking watch whatever's going on, even if you're no enjoying it. Because you know life's shite as well. So you may as well just watch shite. Right.
Yeah, right, aye. When you've got one battery left in the remote, like, you know, and it's just sort of dying, but you just won't bring yourself to replace it. You take them out, you rub them about.
Right.
We're just going back to the batteries. No.
I'm going to
make this last another month.
Yeah.
I'm going to rub it.
Shit.
Swap them around.
Yeah.
Heat them up.
Right.
Don't heat them up. That's a bad thing.
Right.
So, that to me, that's another. It's just genuinely things starting to fall apart around you is a good sign that you're depressed, including stinking.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're like, I smell a BO, I look minging, my hair's dirty, everything's dirty, but I'm not cleaning. I'm not getting washed.
No way.
No way am I making an effort for myself. And then that feeds into, I'm stinking. So you're like, well, you know, do something about it. But depression being depression kind of stops you.
Yeah.
Does it?
I think that you can get to a point where it's like you're so grimy that you're proud of it.
Oh, you're so dirty.
At first
you're
you're ashamed, right? Yeah.
Like
then you go into like, right. So the fourth one is starting a sentence and not finishing it, like in a conversation.
Go date it to me then.
Right. Okay.
Even the now he's fucked.
Well, ask me how I'm doing.
How you doing, man?
I'm alright, but see recently.
What? Is that it?
Nah,
what?
fuck.
You know what? No? No what to talk about? No?
No.
Strange. You've been like this for a wee while.
Yeah.
I think you need help.
Probably.
You gonna get it?
Well, I can't even brush my teeth, so I'm gonna...
I noticed the smells fucking... That one's went black, I know.
Right. Number 6.
Mm-hmm. And the
White.
countdown. Number 6 in this week. Fresh at number 6. Paris.
Right. Not proud of this one. Wiping your hands on your clothes after eating
I
something.
thought you guys say. Second, I thought you guys say wiping your arse with your hands.
No,
like,
that's next level. I've never done that.
Whoa, that's
extreme. Real depression. That's your one way. Oh god.
That's when you know things are bad, isn't it?
Yeah. Toothbrushing, if it happens, you resent doing it deeply.
Although on that, I actually do resent brushing my teeth anyway. Like I do it twice a day, but I don't enjoy it.
Maybe you're depressed every day.
Aye, probably. Aye, it's like a reminder of life. Brushing your teeth.
I think these should be in the DSM.
The hell's the DSM?
It's the medical journal that psychiatrists use across America and UK.
Oh, aye, the DSM.
Yeah.
That we all keep on as. Oh, I think it should be in the DSM. I know. I've always been saying that.
You know, these are good. Like, you know, not everyone. Like, a lot of people get up, right? A lot of people who are depressed, they still get up and do their shit, right? They do things, but like if they drop something, do they instantly pick it up? No, that's a warning sign. So you know, but
it's like creeping in.
It's creeping in. So I think these are subtle signs that people should be made aware of. This is my service to the world.
Aye. Well, you know, at least you're trying. You're trying. So this comes. This. Have we got any more here?
No, that's it.
Well, this here.
I had 10, but you know.
But you were so depressed.
Yeah.
Aye, that you couldn't finish it.
Arse, yeah.
And this isn't any lag. Me and Paddy both for the last week suffered for a bit of melancholy. And don't know why. That's another thing about depression. It just fucking appears.
Could be a sunny day.
That's even. There's one for me.
Yeah.
See when it's a sunny day and I don't go out. And I'm like, this is depression. I know it is.
Yeah.
And then I get annoyed at myself for missing the vitamin D.
Yeah.
That would have boosted me.
Yeah.
Or sleeping, a luxury I have is sometimes I can sleep to 5 o'clock and I'm like, what the fuck? Like I've missed a whole day. I didn't get out of my bed because I've got no reason to exist. Like that feeling of no reason to exist is probably a good sign that you need help, innit?
Yeah.
Do you believe in psychiatry?
Oof. Well, my mum's a psychiatrist, right?
Aye.
But by the end of her career, she did not really. She thought it needed radical restructuring.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she didn't really believe in giving people pills who really needed a bit more like.
Agree with that.
Better housing and better community things happening around them, better involvement, or whatever it is. She didn't always know, but she knew that giving pills to people wasn't always the solution.
Right. No, that's straight for the horse's mouth.
Well, there you go.
You kind of get.
So there's a organisation called Radical Psychiatrists Association, something like that.
Right.
But they are all for a totally new approach
homeopathic
to psychiatry. I don't know. I think they're more political. It's more about trying to improve people's lives as opposed to trying to make them cope with the shit they've got to put up with.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, my mum increasingly got into politics as she got older and saw that.
So like disillusioned of it.
She definitely seen that some people benefited from these drugs, like antipsychotic drugs and antidepressants do work sometimes, obviously, as we all know. But you know, only sometimes, only to a certain degree, and you know, you need other things in your life, blah blah. We all know that. But like, so psychiatry, she found it increasingly hard to do.
Wow.
But she still liked doing it, and she would kind of talk to her patients and get to know them, or her service users, whatever you want to call it, because it's through the NHS. And she tried to take a holistic approach, I think.
Well, it seems to be the way. Like I've seen a pushback of these antidepressants and an over prescription of them on a lot of people. Well, so like for balance, I was on antidepressants for a long time. I was on your starter for 10, Prozac, fluoxetine, and didn't do anything for me. In fact, made me worse, made me frustrated. It was as if it suppressed my feelings.
Wow.
And at the time my dad had died and I couldn't grieve and all that. So I was like punching walls out of nowhere. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not like a frustrated type. So I had a word with my doctor after another 2 years and I was like, I don't think these work for me. So he put me on a drug called metrazepine, which had a sedative in them. And for a year I took that. I took it for longer than that, but for that year, I can't deny it, it stabilised my mental state and I found myself happier and less in my own head. But after that, I sort of just was like, I don't know if I need these now. Nice. And I came after them. Fair choice. But they also had the sedative thing, like I couldn't wake up.
Yeah, I had that problem.
That was just too intense. And it was like alarms when I walked, nothing. I thought, no life. But I've missed so many appointments.
But you're happy.
But I'm happy, aye. So it's like the paradox is, take these drugs that's like going to zombify you. You're going to lose friends, jobs, whole careers. But you'll be happy.
Yeah, you'll be happy in your misery.
Aye, you'll be happy with your misery.
Yeah, with your nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had the same experience on mirtazapine.
Oh, but you're on them?
Yeah, man.
Right.
You didn't know?
No, I didn't know. No. Strong, aren't they?
Very strong. We'd have to take them, be quite disciplined about when I took them. If I took them too close to bedtime,
You'd
I
sleep
wouldn't
in.
wake up
Aye.
in time. If I took them too early, you'd be tired at like 7:30 or 8 and it would be like, oh, fuck.
Aye.
So it was tricky, but it was good. I'm with you. I wonder if it improved things only because I got a better sleep. Was that the same with you? Or were you getting okay
That's a
sleep
good
so
point.
far?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I think I remember noting in my head, I'm feeling better all round.
Okay, interesting.
Just genuinely out of that sort of dark place. Aye. Whereas the fluoxetine, I was like, nah, these definitely only doing anything for me. Like I could tell. And then the metrazapine, but as I said, I was like plenty of meetings with yourself and the group and all that, and I couldn't get out of my bed, and I'm like, this is hindering me. So, the scales were all out of whack on the antidepressant front. I believe in them, but I think they're overprescribed, and they're a sort of plaster or a bigger thing.
Yeah.
I think the world's in a whole fucking depressed state, or some sort of state of shock. I don't know if it's because of the pandemic and we've never really recovered from it or something. And then all the wars that is going on as well, and the internet, it's like everybody's a wee bit off kilter now.
Yeah, it feels like that, doesn't
Isn't
it?
it?
Yeah.
It's like things are something's going on. I almost want the war now.
Why?
Because I'm fed up with hearing about it. Like, I'm like, oh, here we go. Like, every couple of days, Twitter, the X.
You're just like, I'll just get on with it.
Aye. Like, instead of, Israel's going to bomb Iran, Iran's going to bomb Israel, Russia's going to bomb America, America's going to bomb Russia, Ukraine, blah, 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 blah. Do it then. I don't want it. I'm a peacenik. I don't want any wars. I don't want any country fighting anybody or a single bullet shot. But do it if you're going to. Instead of this waiting period where we're all kind of, is there a war coming on?
But is that not just the press thing, Manos?
I don't know. I mean, like, I was watching some World War documentaries last night because I'm full of fun.
Hey!
And I thought,
that's another sign of depression.
Aye.
Start watching documentaries on
for a laugh.
For a laugh.
Aye, to cheer me up. I watch Holocaust things and that, and I think, it's not. I've not got that bad, I suppose. It could be worse. But I feel like art's imitating life in this Third World War thing. It's getting spoken about too much.
Right.
It's almost like the media want it. I do think the media are behind it. It's like they're teasing it. But then when it kicks off, everybody's going to be like, oh shit, this was a bad move.
Yeah, we shouldn't have.
we shouldn't have done this.
All that. Yeah, we should have
found
stopped
out
those
that
fires.
So Russia fire a nuke at America and it comes up as a blip on the radar, right? They see that, the Americans. The American president is the cunt that's got the last say and presses the button. He's only got 6 minutes to make his mind up whether to retaliate or no.
Wow.
And retaliation means the end of the world. So do you take the hit and lose maybe 1 million of your own citizens but save the world? Or do you go, fuck it, strike back?
I can tell you what they're going to do.
Within 6 minutes.
Fuck me, they're always going to fight.
Trump, imagine that. Oof.
No, I think any of them would do it. I think anyone.
Would you? What would you do? Would you take the hit?
No, I wouldn't take the hit.
I think I'd need to.
It's tricky though.
Because were you going to be the guy that's responsible for the death of 8 billion people? Alright, it's not really your fault, but...
Wait a minute. Yeah, but retaliation doesn't necessarily mean it's going to escalate into the whole world.
It does.
Well, how do I know that before I hit the button?
Aye.
Well, no then, obviously not. I just take the hit.
Right.
But if I think it's going to stop further missiles into my country...
No, it's you know about MAD. It's
Huh?
agreed, MAD, mutually assured destruction.
Aye, fair.
It's what the world looks in this.
I know, but who's going to bomb, like, Timbuktu or New Zealand? They're...
It's brilliant that you brought that up.
Yeah.
New Zealand is where all the fucking millionaires
That's
have been
why I
moving to.
fucking
Do you know that?
brought it up, yeah, man.
Aye. Musk and all that
Because
mob.
they're like Switzerland. They're like, why are we getting involved?
Mhm.
We're an island.
Aye, well, on that note, actually, fuck
Is this-
Switzerland
And their neutrality.
and their neutrality. Pick a side. You
Pick a
can't
side.
just be like, the fascists, they're a bit naughty, and the communists, they can be bad, but we'll just turn a blind eye as long as you...
We'll just continue making cuckoo clocks.
That's their
As
legacy.
Wells would say.
Aye. Yeah, I mean, fuck Switzerland, man. Like, I've not got... Step aside, neutrals. Just bomb them.
Yeah, just bomb all the neutrals.
Bomb the neutrals.
That's funny.
Aye, bomb the neutrals.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of
Yeah.
these fuckers.
Yeah.
You're not picking a side, you're not in. You're gone. Found out the other day that old Joe Stalin, after the war, got together with Churchill and it would be Truman then at that point, and they were like, what are we going to do with all these Germans? You know, like, what do we do with them all? Stalin says, let's kill them all. That was his
I
answer.
bet, yeah.
That was, let's kill them all.
Yeah.
And apparently Churchill and that were like, nah, that's probably not for the best. Saying that, he's a fat monster and all.
Yeah.
I'm renouncing Churchill too, he's a fat fucker. Oh, Churchill, he was the best man for the job, which might be true,
Probably.
but he was a fucking horrible racist bastard.
He's an arse, yeah.
And he sent tanks to George Square, and he locked our army in
That's
Maryhill Barracks.
Mm.
Wee fatty. Didn't see him rationing cigars during the war.
Mm.
We'd fight them on the beaches. What do you mean we? The fuck? I just 500,000 soldiers. Just get them all done in. What's that? The cancer pick?
Yeah. Now just water went down the wrong way. I try to be sly about it.
Didn't it work? I hate when that happens.
Fuck.
Have you ever done it in public? Like,
Yeah.
when you're trying to look kind of cool and...
I've done it in meetings where I'm like, I don't wanna, I shouldn't be drinking when this person's talking, but I'm gonna do it, and then I'm like, blah, blah, spitting all over the fucking meeting room.
You know it's bad when other people start saying things like, you're alright?
Yeah.
You're like,
It's like, yeah.
kinda.
I just pretend that you're fine and then like choke to death.
I wonder how much water can go into the lungs before it's too late.
Is that going in my lungs? Don't
It
say
must
these
be,
things to
because
me.
if it goes down your windpipe, it's going
Oh,
into
yeah.
your esophagus, into your lungs.
Oh well.
As far as I know, don't quote me on that.
I've put lots of bad things in my lungs, so a bit of water might help it.
Clean it out.
Clean it out.
Do you believe in the tube up the bum for cleaning your bum out? What do they call it?
Oh, that thing.
Colonic
Yeah.
irrigate,
Irrigation, yeah.
something like
I don't know. Never tried it.
that. It'd be weird, man.
Mm.
I always remember that guy who wasn't funny. English comedian. I don't know why he was called comedian. Christian comedian, black guy. For like 20 years ago.
Oh,
Richard Blackwood.
Very, very well done. Yeah.
Aye,
From the
Richard
90s,
Blackwood.
late 90s, yeah.
He done a show. Don't know why I remember this. It was a good while back on Channel 5, where he was like volunteering to get colonic irrigation done, and he done it on telly.
Jesus.
Aye, it was really attractive TV. Aye, he
Channel
came.
5, man.
He remodelled himself as like a Christian comedian. I didn't even know he was a comedian. Did you?
Yeah.
Did you
He
really?
was alright. He was more like a TV personality,
What's your
wasn't he?
favourite Richard Blackwood bit?
The colonic irrigation.
Aye, that was good.
Yeah.
Aye, that was a good.
Channel 5's hilarious, man. Talking about Churchill and Nazis, man. It should be called the fucking Nazi channel.
Aye.
Remember the amount of fucking
Channel
Nazi
5.
shows they had?
Well, the Nazi thing is kinda annoying me, because it's like, how many more documentaries about the fucking Nazis can you make?
I know.
Like, I didn't know about Pol Pot and the killing fields. I didn't know.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they only get
Loads
taught
of
about
dictators.
one week, and I get it. He's quite entertaining to watch. You know, he's
He's
a character.
That Nazi. He's a
Aye,
character.
He's a character. Hitler was a
Hitler,
character.
yeah.
Nobody's disputing that.
Yeah.
Nay cunt.
Right. Okay.
He was a character.
Yeah.
Didn't mean he was good. Didn't
Yeah.
mean he was bad.
Yeah.
He was bad. Unless you're a racist or a far righter,
Yeah.
you think, oh, he was. No, he was. I didn't know that he ended up hating his own generals.
Oh yeah.
See, after he got bombed in his bunker and he lived, he thought, he was like, oh, I know now why I'm losing the war. That's what he said. He wrote, I know why I'm losing the war now. It's because of all my traitors in my party. Yeah, right. 80. So, don't know why I went into the Hitler thing there. War, Channel 5, ad nauseum, with fucking Nazis and, like, I know everything about the cunts. I know their planes, I know what bullets they... I'm like, I don't need to know any more about these fucking jumped up fascists. Channel 5, when it began, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember it being exciting?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So, what do you remember?
I remember being like, oh wow, and they had like this thing where they were like, oh, we're gonna show a movie every night at 9 o'clock.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And like they started really strong. I think they had Speed on, and then they had like another big movie, and then slowly just got worse and worse.
Remember they also had a wee bit of naughty stuff. After about 11, you'd get kind of like softcore porn. Like it was kind of like Euro trash, but no Euro trash. I don't know what it was.
I never watched that.
Right. I liked Channel 5 as a early teenager for obvious reasons.
For that reason, right, okay.
But I remember when it came about, it was like, there was like a week leading up to it, maybe even a month, and you'd turn it to Channel 5 on your telly, back in the old days, when you had to switch the telly with the remotes. Remember the things? Remotes and all that? I know, and the wind-up tellies with the, and that. Yeah. And they had the old logo, and it was like multicolours. Bands.
Oh, that's right.
So you could turn on to Channel 5 and for weeks it would be like these bands and it would be like coming soon.
Right.
I remember my neighbour next door chatting our doors and saying, have you got Channel 5 yet? And we were like, no. That's how exciting it was. How pathetic was our lives.
That's hilarious.
And the Spice Girls launched Channel 5, I remember that.
Really?
The first night of Channel 5 was the Spice Girls, and then they started showing Hercules in the morning and Xena.
Oh yeah, I had all those shows.
Aye, and it really petered out quick. Like it became.
What is the Channel 5 show now? I want to know.
It's things.
Sharks.
No, it's the fucking
Nazis.
pro fucking bailiff type shows now.
Nice.
Can't pay, take it away. Like the scum of the earth. Another wee dig. Fuck you, bailiffs. Glad we don't have it in Scotland. Thanks, Thomas Sheridan. But scum of the planet, can't pay, take it away. And it's like they're celebrating these fuckers who come into like a single mod's house and say, oh well, you're £14 behind, we're taking your telly and your fridge. And like, oh aye, well done. Channel 5's like, yeah. Or benefit Scrougers and Proud. Like they're dead, they're like the scummiest channel. Funnily enough, they were bought by the cunt that ran the Daily Mail. So that kind of...
there we go.
Aye. So that sort of sums up.
But what's the psychology behind like watching that kind of bailiff show? Is it like
I think it's to make
you feel better because it's like, oh well, at least bailiffs aren't at my door. No,
I think it's to make you feel above people.
That's what I mean.
Aye.
Like,
sorry,
I suppose yeah.
Aye.
I see. You mean yeah. You put
like,
it in a slightly different way. Yeah.
Aye.
Like you're pointing down at them, being like, haha, motherfuckers.
I think so.
That.
Aye, and people like to think that there's all these scroungers.
Yeah.
And that's why you're skint.
That's why you're skint.
You're skint because you're all the scroungers, not because of the big cunts that are taking all the money down it. No, nothing to do with them.
No.
It's
that single mum who didn't pay her council tax 3 months ago.
That disabled bastard. Fucking with her free passes. Shocking. But aye, there's a lot of that type of scumbag show on Channel 5. I don't actually know. I don't watch telly anymore, so I don't know.
That's probably right though. I think that sounds right.
Like I remember
there's a lot of that on TikTok I noticed.
Is there?
Yeah, I don't use TikTok very often, but like I was scrolling through it and it was like literally a video of bailiffs coming to a single mum's door. I can't believe you even mentioned that, but like that was the video,
and that was celebrated.
Like, yeah, I was like, why is this getting so much interest? Like I just felt like a voyeur. I just felt ashamed and I felt sorry for
Dirty
him. Aye.
for seeing it.
Just like, fucking
I
hell.
didn't know that was. What do you make it?
Kept on watching
Do you hear? Aye. Were you depressed at the time, aye?
it. Yeah, I can't even say that as my excuse.
Yeah. What do you make of America banning TikTok?
Oh shit, they did it finally.
Aye.
Nice.
By the end of the year.
Good for them, fuck it.
You think?
Yeah, TikTok's not exactly bringing that much to the world, I don't think.
No, it's just Chinese spy equipment.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of spying going on. But then what information are they really gleaning from all these teenagers using TikTok? I don't understand.
I know, I would like to know what
are they really getting out of that? That's a lot of work for anyone who's trying to fucking,
aye.
you know what I mean?
Aye.
Piece together something useful.
Think of the shite you need to wade through.
Teenagers dancing, bailiffs knocking at women's doors.
I know it's hardly high espionage, is it?
No.
But it must be. They say the future wars will be fought with fucking. It'll be data wars. It'll be the people who have the most data. So maybe there's something to collecting so much data. Maybe it's to compromises or something. I don't know.
Interesting.
Like I don't know. I don't know what. I can't really fathom what they're gaining for spying on. Like you said, teenagers dancing.
Maybe it's a complicated way of like gleaning marketing information. So like getting to know what we want and what products we buy and
before they bring the social credit scores in. And
fucking hell, yeah.
I feel like
imagine living in China, mate. You'd be fucked. Bro.
Seen a guy paying with his wrist the other day in China. And I just shook my head. I thought.
Don't you get penalised if you don't like go and socialise?
Apparently if you buy alcohol. Now look.
Wow.
I need to preference this way. Everything you hear about China, you need to take with a massive pinch of salt.
I know.
Because there's so much fucking lies.
Yeah, I bet. I bet it's not quite as bad as people make out. It's difficult, right? Tell me what you're going to say though.
So apparently for the social credit thing, if you buy a bottle of wine, or two bottles of wine, they go, person's got a drinking problem, credit score goes down.
Wow, two. What if you're just stocking up?
You'd end up with knee points.
Jesus.
No pois. Just, I know.
Harsh.
Like, what would... so what's something that you think you would buy that would probably knock down your social credit score?
Oh, good question. Beers. What else?
I'd say take your horn away for your mouth.
Oh.
Just for audible reasons. Beer. Aye.
Yeah, beer. What else? Nicotine tablets. Maybe they would think about that.
Probably. Fair enough.
Oh, you
do you know what?
Used to smoke. No, they probably like smokers because they make a lot of cigarettes over there, don't they?
I'm sure they do. Aye. Apparently the alcohol thing is about, they see it as a lack of self-control, and that's why you lose points.
Right.
I mean.
Well, that is.
Aye. Is it?
Not really.
Everybody's got their price.
I find it's a bit a thing they like. What if you're like, oh, that's a really good offer. I don't want to go to the shops like 3 times this week. I'm going to buy 2 or 3 bottles. Or is it 2 for 1? Yeah. And you get penalised for a 2 for 1 offer.
It's weird. I don't know.
It's a bit much.
If anything you'd think you'd want, if you were like Xi Jinping, you'd want your citizens all steaming.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think, but then they're not as productive.
Aye, true.
You're going to be phoning in late and not at all. And
I seen a thing on X, right? And it was like, a picture, it was like a big cathedral, like a beautiful big cathedral, and the guy wrote underneath it, he posted this picture and he wrote, "Are we meant to believe that drunken peasants built this?" And like, he had I was always going underneath for the comments and people were like, what are you talking about? Like, nobody's even claiming that drunken peasants built it. Like, just, I see a lot of this on X now, people goad you in. Right. You don't use Twitter much, do you?
No.
So there's this thing going on in there, right, where it'll be like a video of Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah.
Usually always her now. A 30-second clip of her dancing on stage, and it'll say, "Something is wrong with this. Can you tell what it is?" And again, you look in the comments, you watch the video and you go, "No, I can't see it." And you look in the comments, people some people say like, oh, she's a devil worshipper and all of that, and then most people just write, this is garbage clickbait stuff, like, gonna stop doing this. There's this cunt called Dom. He might actually come out afterwards if he hears this, because he's quite a proactive cunt. Dom Lucia or Lucia, I don't know what. And he's full of shit. He puts it, but he's verified, and Musk talks about him and stuff like that. He goes on Infowars and all of that. He's kind of well known, but he puts it just baseless conspiracies, like totally baseless.
Huh.
And people are like, gonna stop this.
Huh.
Gonna stop filling my feed up with shit. You know, that's it.
Yeah.
Social media is a total mess, man.
You put me off X last time I was here because you fucking showed me that. It basically showed me. Danny showed me a video where a guy tries to shoot an individual, right? Oh, he thought I'd like it. He tries to shoot an individual, right? And then the guy gets in his car. His van type thing. It's like, I don't know what you call it. Anyway, he drives off, and then the guy, he's like still hanging about, right? The guy who's been trying to shoot him. And then the van comes along.
I didn't realise this had got in your psyche so much.
Runs the other guy over who tried to shoot him in the most brutal fashion. Like, if it's like and this guy's heavy and he just gets smashed. He's like a little rag doll. And I was like, fucking hell, I didn't see that coming. And the guy, to see the way the guy tries to run away is just so feeble. It's like
I know.
It's almost like
a dad jog.
A dad jog. He's doing a dad jog whilst our van's
it's
coming
charging
at
him
60 mile an hour.
Aye.
Anyway,
it scarred you a bit.
It scarred me.
Honestly, you've seen nothing yet. I mean, X in there. I don't know why. My feed, all I see is like.
But you see, right? Oh, sorry. This is the interesting part of that though. See, once I was walking home, I was looking at every car in a different way, mate.
Right, you're
like,
a hypochondriac then.
Hypochondriac.
Yeah, really?
A vanochondriac.
So D was right.
I'm a hypochondriac.
Why?
I've got hypochondria in my name. Hypochondriac.
I know. You tell me that every time I see you. First time I heard it, I thought it was decent.
Well, they might not have heard it.
Probably not. No, but
never show me another video on X, bro. I'm fucking
honestly,
38, mate. I don't want to see that shit. That's the kind of stuff that you watch when you're like 16 and are like, yes.
Well,
you get a little buzz out of it.
Yes.
Now I'm like, oh my god, like that poor guy. And why was he shooting him? There's so many questions. Why did he try and shoot him?
Aye.
Why didn't he shoot him?
Why did he do it badly?
Why did he do it so badly? Why did he hang about? Why did he dad jog away from a 60 mile an hour fucking van?
No.
Like, move your arse, mate.
No, I know.
If you'd actually like got out of the way, that would never be a video, and I would have never been scarred.
No.
Not to be too selfish about it, but you know.
I know.
Dad jogging away.
I'm telling you,
avoid
X then, because
I'm
it's full of fighting. It's full of like teenagers. I hate this actually.
You've gone down the fighting hole.
I don't like it. Oh,
yeah, I hate it. I've gone down it though.
Aye, teenagers punching fuck at each other.
No, I'm not seeing the teenagers. I just watch like street fights, but some of them
teachers attacking the Wayne. But
really?
the Wayne's usually, when I say Wayne, I mean 16, something like that. Instigating it.
That's a shame because.
So like there was a teacher, it was a black boy speaking to his black teacher, and he kept using the N word to him in front of the class.
Wow.
Kept saying it and saying it and saying it and daring him basically. Like, what you gotta do about it? What you gotta do about it? And the teacher just fucking snapped and punched fuck him. Like,
really?
So I just knocked him out, chased him around the classroom, and I was like, that guy's lost his job and all that, you know. And
what a shame, man.
I know.
I mean, nobody wins in that scenario.
No.
Fuck.
No, it's not a good look. It's on the CV.
You gotta get, but you gotta get on the good side of teenagers, man.
Well, you're a youth worker.
Yeah.
Have you been tested?
Oh, 100%.
Aye,
100%.
Gives a point where you thought.
You're not even a fucking man, mate. You're a fucking. You're a poof. You're and like, you know, when you're 27, you're like, you start being all macho about like, oh, you think I'm. Start squaring up to. No, not really, but like, yeah, you get a bit older.
Have you ever
like, whatever. Like, you just like somebody like.
Have you ever wanted to hit anybody? Just out of frustration.
No.
Know that you would.
No.
Know that you would. But like that breaking point that you get, what teachers get to.
Years ago, maybe, yeah. I don't. The thing is, it's never that personal. They never know you that well. They can't really get. It's not like a family member saying something that's very specific and targeted.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a bit generic, and
Aye.
it's also about like.
Check you out with the hat.
Yeah, it's all like that shit, man.
Aye. Hey, sideburns.
Yeah, and you can always turn it on.
It's funny how kids have got that. Aye, like I used to do it as well. Like you're pointing out just something like that. Like
they'll hone in on something.
Aye. Check. Alright, you mustache. Yeah. And like people get a complex and stuff.
Yeah.
I was having. I think I've seen a counsellor at the time. No, because and I was outside waiting on my appointment, so I was having a fag, and I was waiting on my appointment. For any American listeners, a fag isn't what you think. It's a cigarette. So I was having a cigarette outside, and I see these wee wains coming sort of 100 yards up the street, and I kind of knew, just looking at them, that they were rapscallions, and I was just avoiding looking at them, just let me be, I'll let you be, it's fine. And then I hear them shouting it, "Hey, mate!" And I looks up, "What? You're a pedo!" I went off of it. "You're a pedo, pure talking to us, man, you fucking pedo, we're telling our brothers you're mad pedo." And I'm like, you just came up to me, like, and I remember smoking, not even finishing the fag, like, just throwing it away. No throwing it away, I put it in a bin. No, I don't litter. And just walking in, because I thought I can't be getting called a pedo in the middle of Royston it was, because any cunt could misconstrue that.
Mate, yeah.
I'm not arguing with 20 wee guys that I'm not a pedo.
Yeah.
It didn't look good. But they've got a cut.
I'll come over there and I will do nothing to you in a sexual way. You
see why I just
malfunction. I just don't even start. Yeah,
they're wee bastards at times.
I know.
There's a propensity of cruelness with kids that is after the Richter scale. I've been privy to it, and I've been part of it at times as a kid, where you're just vulgar.
Yeah.
To people.
What if you'd replied, "I am, mate"?
That'd be interesting. Fuck with their heads.
Yeah.
I would have got.
That'd be a steely silence, I wonder.
That'd be interesting.
Are you, mate? Yeah.
I know. I am all, and I'm gonna fuck yous. I'm all, and yous are next. I wonder what they would do. I think I would have got a do. I think they would have got their family members to like.
I think that's good advice.
No, don't own up to your fake paedophilia. It doesn't.
Yeah, don't try and
No.
I had one experience which is quite funny. In a school, it was like I felt like a teacher because this one young lad, he just wasn't listening, and it was like. I think we were trying to get him to decide on something, and he was, what was it exactly? He was just being really difficult, and he was kind of stopping the rest of the class, like choosing something. He was like, "No, that'll be shite. No, I'm not doing that." And then he was just like, just being really disruptive. Yeah. And then like I said his name. I'll call him something different. I'll call him Jack, right? So I was like, Jack, but he wasn't looking at me. He was just like continuing talking, but like looking straight past me, even though I was quite close to him. And I must have got annoyed because I was like, I said something like, "Oh, Jack, what's the point in me even being here?" But I don't know what I said, right? Then he flipped it. He got annoyed with me. He was like, "Wait, why are you even here, mate? We don't even know you. You've got a fucking Christmas jumper on. It's not even Christmas, mate. It's February." And I was like, "That is true." And then like I almost like backed off, and like I became quite submissive. I was beaten by him. I was totally beaten, and then
you've got a Christmas tree.
And it's not even fucking Christmas.
We bastards.
I know.
By the way,
he got me.
That's on you though.
I know. I shouldn't be wearing a Christmas. It wasn't really Christmas. It was like a little bit.
Like the Fair Isle jumper type.
Yeah, it was a bit. Yeah, it had red.
Scandi.
It had some kind of red on it, and he construed that as Christmas.
And the big Santa Claus.
Yeah, it had a big Santa Claus. So what?
I know.
I like Christmas.
Mr. Christmas.
I had a half decent family, unlike you. Like, come on.
I know. You'd be ingrate. Nah, I had kids.
But he's sounding me now.
Oh,
Yeah, we got back.
What age is he now?
He's 14 or 15.
Oh, so this was.
No, it's recent.
When he was
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Oh, right.
No,
recent.
yeah.
Alright.
But like, I think any authority with those guys, you can't be authoritarian.
No.
You've got to like give them, if they're doing something, you're like, my approach is almost like, oh come on, what are you doing? Or like, you tell them like, guys, if you do that, that's gonna get us in trouble. That's gonna get all. See if a teacher comes in and hears you swearing like that.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, but then that backfires though, because then sometimes he's like, they'll swear like constantly, and I'm like, going to stop swearing. He's like, how you said we're only a teacher now, so why can't we swear? And I'm like, see, they remember everything, so they're gonna get you. So you need to watch.
Right.
So.
They've not got that issue we have at this age where memory is quite like
is a malleable.
Very malleable. No, you're right. I think you're right. They're like sponges for things. And
they'll
good at callbacks.
Fucking
and
like
grudges.
Like a steel trap. Yeah, man. Grudges, callback. Yeah, 100%. That's something I said to him like 2 months ago, and he brought that back up.
Wow, right.
He was like, there's no teachers here, so why not swearing?
Right, so
right, okay.
You've set the precedent in that one.
Yeah, I was trying, because I first met him, I didn't want to be like, don't swear in front of me.
You know
what I mean?
Aye. You know how
you don't want to come across like that.
No. I've got to tell you, this happened, I might have told you this once before, but I haven't told the listeners. So we had it was a religious studies class, RE. I don't know why it was religious education, I suppose.
Yeah.
And it was a substitute, right? So it was a substitute religious studies. Funny enough, this has happened twice, different things. Anyway, I'm in class. My class was wild, right? And it really was wild. It was. Our year was so bad they brought police into the school and built them an office. And there was 2 police at all times in the school because of my year.
Yeah.
I wasn't a troublemaker. I just spoke too much and that got me in trouble. Anyway, this class was insane, right? It was all the maddest cunts I knew, and they were all throwing fucking rubbers and all that, and like they big fuckers now.
Oh yeah.
And everybody's ducking and talking, and this guy walks in.
Ducking as a target, just like it's casual.
I was like, it was like, it was like a course now, an army course or some sorts. And this teacher walks in. Hadn't seen him before. He wasn't even like a sub that had been at school a few times. Came in, class was, and it really must have been the hardest class you could have controlled. And I'd never seen anybody control this class. And especially with being RE, right? Like, that just takes it to a new level of disinterest.
In class.
Aye.
Yeah.
So he walks in.
Because everyone teaching it is so like compassionate.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
Forgive me, miss.
Forgive me. Yeah.
Sorry. Forgive me. Turn the other cheek, miss. And he walks in. Everybody is wild. And he's got this kind of demeanour about him that suggests he's not up for any shite. But my class are like, fuck you. And you're like, we don't care about you. Then he did this thing. I've never seen it done since. Because I'm not in school, but I don't think it has been done since. He looked at the whole class. He went, right, sort of banged on the table. He went, my daughter died this year, and I'm not going to listen to yous causing it and being loud and raucous. I want peace in this class, and I went quiet now. And the whole fucking class went quiet. And I was like, he's done it. He's actually, something about him bringing up, I don't even know why he done that, but my daughter died this year. And it was kind of like, he shocked us all.
Yeah.
It was like, oh fuck, like, better not slag him, he's got a dead daughter.
Little did you know that he
lying.
says that to every class for the last 25 years.
He's got 100 dead daughters.
Doesn't even have a daughter.
No, he probably was lying.
Aye.
Like, as a thing about it,
He probably just had a hangover.
Aye. My stupid sister, she managed to, kill me for this, she managed to get a teacher sacked.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Why? How?
So, for what I know of the story, this guy was a drunk. No, it's probably not a good idea to be showing up to classes drunk, right?
Yeah.
And he'd lost control of the class. He was actually like drunk, right? And he started berating an annoying boy. The boy was a dick, right? The young boy. He was a talky cunt and like me. And apparently he just went through him, right? Screaming at him and all of that. my wee sister, this was like the start of phones recording things. I was already out of school at this point. She started filming the guy. She uploaded it to YouTube and stuff, and it went viral. The police got involved. The guy ended up getting sacked.
Wow.
Like, no, she didn't mean for any of that.
Right.
Like, she felt pretty bad. She was only like 13, 14.
Wow.
So, there's two, like, so like, my granddad's view on it is my sister is a wee scumbag for doing that. He's like, that's terrible,
That's a graph.
losing that guy his job. He obviously had problems, you know.
Yeah.
But then I played devil's advocate, and I'm like, well, you can't be coming to school drunk and then screaming at Waynes and stuff, and no expect to get nabbed at some point.
Yeah.
So I don't know how what do you think? Do you think he deserved to be sacked?
That's a really tricky one. I don't really have an opinion on that. I feel like it's... All I'm gonna say, this is my opinion, right? See, if you work with kids, young people, you kinda got to not hate them.
Mm-hmm.
And the minute you start hating them, and it
Lost.
does happen, you've lost them.
Right.
And you've lost yourself, and it's fucking useless. You may as well just quit. And it's... Unfortunately, and this is not a profound thought, this is... You know, any good teacher knows this and says this, you know, not to, you know, to the other teachers who they respect. They're like, well, you know, and you can't like them all the time and blah blah. But you generally gotta go. They're teenagers. They're not mature. Their brains haven't matured. They've had trauma. A lot, and the ones who give you bother, they've had trauma in their lives.
So he should have been sacked then.
I don't know. It's very tricky.
Maybe suspended or something.
I think a stern warning, yeah, man. At least.
Like, you can't if you come into class, Stephen.
Weekend.
Funnily enough, so my first year English, I excelled in it because my teacher, I loved her. She allowed me to write scripts at lunchtime and all that. It was amazing, and she was Miss Brown, became Mrs. James. Fantastic woman, really saved my life. Changed everything for me, and so I wanted to like show off to her. I wanted to, when there was an essay, I would have it done that night. I was like a teacher's pet with her because I liked her, probably fancied her as well, just because she was such a lovely person. And I remember one day getting in trouble in her class because I think I was late coming back. I think we'd kind of just been a bit loose with the time, and the rest of the class were more involved than me. And there was about four or five Waynes that get hooked outside, and I was one of them. And she kind of looked at me and she was like, sort of shook her head a wee bit, and she went, "Danny, I don't want to be sending you out here, but I need to." It was like she's saying, I think better of you, and I know better of you, but I need to give you a slap in the wrist till you've went.
Yeah.
And then second year and third year and stuff, I'd be kicked out of classes every now and again, and you'd have to stand outside. And when Miss Brown would walk by, she would kind of look at me and, "Danny, what are you doing out here?" And I'd go, "Oh, sorry, miss." Like, even 3 years later, I still felt indebted to that woman.
Yeah.
It's funny, a teacher shows you compassion or respect, it totally changes how you feel about them. When they treat you like you're just another pupil, they don't give a fuck much about you, so you don't really give a fuck much about them. I really think it starts with good teachers will make you a good pupil.
I think that's a good argument for maybe not firing him, but certainly he needed a warning. He needed something, some kind of huge punishment.
I mean, that poor fucker, like, I get my granddad's point.
I do get his point as well, because say that was just an off day. Say his wife had just left him and he started drinking. Say he was an alcoholic. That's a disease, you know what I mean? You can stop. It's hard to stop, you know what I mean? So, yeah, there's all these factors we don't know about. You should really be given a bit of support. It'd be interesting to know how often that happens now, though, because I imagine things get filmed all the time. And it's almost like, well, I can't afford to just keep on firing teachers.
Yes,
you know what I mean? So I wonder. Yeah, it'd be interesting to know. I don't know much.
Well, I used to have
we need to get a teacher on here.
I used to have a teacher. She was when I primary school. She was my first headmaster, but she was just leaving. She was actually like my maths headmaster. She was just leaving in my primary one.
Wow.
When you used to go into her head teacher's office, you could see smoke and stuff. She'd put fags out. She'd smoke in her office. Like, that's
nice.
how old school was that?
Old school.
Old school. Proper old school. And she was a nice woman as well, but you could literally see the billowing fucking smoke all around her.
Nice.
Just dip it out. And you don't get teachers like our day.
Nah.
Teachers in my day, I think, were horrible people. But for the most part.
Yeah, my grandma was a teacher. She used to go and smoke, right? But the teachers would never really smoke with the pupils. And she would smoke with the pupils sometimes. That's basically the way she ended up getting respect. Because
dinner ladies would smoke with us.
Yeah, that's funny. But the teacher ruined, right?
Nah, I don't. Nah, never. I don't even know. Nah, I think any of my teachers actually. I don't even think they smoked. I don't know.
Yeah.
I did in my secondary. I can't remember any of them smoking. That just the dinner ladies and out the back. Did you have teachers that you tried harder for?
Oh yeah.
And why?
Loads.
Why did you try harder?
I think maybe I liked the subject. I probably liked them as well, and yeah. But I was gonna say something about it's hard being a teacher because. Yeah, I'm talking very broadly here, but like a lot of kids who are misbehaving, they've been the scapegoat in their families. This isn't really funny, but like I find it quite interesting. It's like, so they've been scapegoated in their family, they've been blamed for everything. They come to school and they get the same shit because they don't know another way to be, and they've got a lot of things going on for them. Their brains haven't developed. They can't pay attention.
It's
blah blah.
You
know the rest.
Actually.
You know what I mean? But and then they are then getting blamed for something in school, so
it's a vicious circle.
Happening 24/7 for them. So in order to break that cycle, sometimes you need to point out the positive behaviours that they do, not in a patronising way, or ignore some of the more attention-seeking bad things that they do. Very difficult though, because it's a fine line between ignoring some of the bad behaviour and letting things slide, which you shouldn't be letting slide. So it's very hard. And so teachers have a very fucking hard job.
You need to be stern but fair.
It's a balancing act.
I bet.
And I can't believe what they do sometimes. The good ones, I can't believe how they do it.
So a few years
day in, day out, crazy. Nurses, bin men, and teachers. We need to add them to the list.
My feeling on teachers is always a bit... because I hear it's the hardest job in the world, and if you've ever seen the guys out in the Bering Sea, the deadliest catch guys that catch crabs,
yeah,
that's a hard job in teaching.
Yeah,
I don't care what people say. I get it.
Or the guys working in a sewer.
The guys working in a sewer.
Sewer guys.
Or bin men.
Or bin men. Working with those rats.
Working with rats. Well, teachers work with rats in their own way.
Ooh.
Wee rats at there.
I don't know. I think teachers sometimes have it rougher than bin men, mate. I've got to say it.
Oh, we've got a traitor.
I've been in schools, mate. I've been in schools. They're pretty rough, mate.
Here.
At least you can have a laugh. I hear them having a laugh whilst they're taking bins out.
Teachers have a laugh.
Sometimes, yeah. True.
And there'll be staff rooms and all that.
Yeah.
You know. Well,
not when they're actually working, though. Not usually.
Well.
Yeah, sometimes.
I had a history teacher, Jack Duffy, great man, funny man. I think I told you about him once. He used to throw dusters at us.
Oh yeah.
If you were not looking interested, he'd actually hit you with a duster. But it was like, it was fun. It was, and he was that type of guy. He was just lovely, Irish guy, old guy, and he was just a great teacher to have. And then sometimes you would take it too far by talking or whatever. And I remember one day he was an old man, and I remember he was in pain, and I remember me, Dean, and two others that were like the usual suspect type thing, just talking right. It was stressing him out to the point that he went like beetroot red and kicked us out of his class. And I remember the guilt I felt, man, because he was one of about 3 teachers in my life that meant anything to me, and I felt like shit for what I put him through. Even though it wasn't like I was doing it and terrible, just no listening to him or whatever.
But you respected him that much that you did feel
that I felt like
contrite.
I felt horrible. I made a teacher cry once.
Wow.
A substitute, and it wasn't my fault. Again, that was it's another RE guy, an RE substitute, so it's already hard for them.
Yeah.
I agree on that.
Yeah.
But he picked a fight with me for no reason. So he comes into this class, same Maddies that I told you about with the daughter guy, right? Same class. and again, I'm ducking through rubbers and all that. Like, they scarred me. They things, literally, they big fucking rubbers, and they would. Sometimes the boys would sharpen them and all that and things. Crazy stuff. And this teacher came in. I remember he was a sort of geeky looking guy, specky looking guy, already looked out his depth. And he's looking around this class and he's trying to speak and they're not listening at all, right? And there's like literally paper up in the air and rubber, like it was like that, like no, I'm not exaggerating. And I was somewhere near the front, maybe one back for the front, and I was just talking. Wasn't listening to him either, but I was talking because the class was carnage, and for some reason he picked me, and he went through me.
I know why.
Right.
But finish your story.
Okay, so he picked on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wasn't having it. And I went, "Why are you picking on me for?" I said, "Look at these fuckers. Look at all them." I said, "Well, you're picking on me." I said, "Why are you picking on me?" I said, "You obviously can't control a class. You don't know what you're doing. You shouldn't even be here." I was really on my high horse, but I was, he picked the wrong guy. I was the least trouble in that class.
Yeah.
But he picked me. So he, after this interaction about him for like 5 minutes, he left the room. I was kind of like, what's going on here? The class is they're still swinging like fucking monkeys, and you're like, insane. And the headmaster came down, and Danny, out. And I thought, oh, what's this? And I get to the class, he says, "Do you know what you've done?" And he always say things like that as if as if you to guess now. "Do you know what you've done?" And I went, "No, I don't." "What?" He says, "That man is in my office crying because of what you said to him." And I was like, but he picked on me when the rest of the class, I was like, look at them, still, like things are smashing behind me and all that. And I'm like, why? So why do you think he picked on me?
Because you were the
soft touch.
Soft touch, I'm sorry to say. In that class anyway.
Fucking bad move, mate.
Aye, he thought you were the soft touch. Aye. And you were probably like one of the most articulate fucking, you were going to give it to him tight in the most eloquent way possible. I mean, and you did, and that's what made him cry.
Aye, he cried, man.
Oh well, he wasn't suited for that job.
No, you can't be weak.
Yeah, no, you can, but you can't go cry and get the head teacher.
I know.
You gotta take it like a man.
I know.
If you get hit on the chin, you just gotta take it.
I think it was because I was questioning his whole
life choices.
I'm like, why you if you can't control this, then you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And he took it back. I never seen that guy again. And I don't think he probably killed himself because of me.
I remember we had this teacher, and he'd always go away for a fag. He was a bit of a drinker as well. And as soon as he would go away, everyone would start doing all sorts. And I remember this kid, he had one of these chairs that has wheels.
He'd go away for a fag during class?
Aye, but we didn't see him, obviously, but we knew what he was doing.
Right.
He'd go in the back, he'd be silent, and he'd come back like 10 minutes later.
Stinking of smoke.
Aye, exactly, aye. And then one kid, I remember he stole the fire extinguisher and used the wheeled chair. Using that, and then that ran out. So we're just sitting in this coffin in the fucking fire extinguisher. And then he's just and he's moving the chair up and down because it's one of them ones and moving at the same time. And then it was just this is.
It's crazy.
As soon as a teacher, But we had we had a contrast in our school. So we had the SWATs doing all the credit and the hires.
Right?
But then if you weren't a SWAT, you'd be doing the foundation in general, right? Uh-huh. So I don't know what that translates to Net 5 nowadays. But anyway, I got moved down. Because I became a bit of a naughty kid and I was skiving a lot. So I went down.
Actually, I got moved in.
So I was on German once, and this was Mrs. Tough, right? And she was literally.
Good name.
She was tough, mate. I'm not kidding you. She
was tough by name, tough by nature.
Tough by nature, man. She would fucking send you out of class with a kind of Hail Hitler type fucking move.
Right.
And I would always do it back to her. Oh, she didn't like that. And I was.
And that's just a look back.
Mate, that was silly.
Would you call her a fascist? Was that how you seen her?
Yeah, a little bit.
A benevolent
but
dictator.
At the same time, I kind of respected her because I was you've made this job quite easy for yourself because people fear you. It's like she read Prince Machiavelli and applied it to classroom politics. And then Aye, so I got kicked out of that class, not just for the High Hitler
God,
thing.
I couldn't imagine you as a troublemaker.
I wasn't really a troublemaker. I just used to Skype school and smoke the occasional spliff, but
Right.
so I got moved into general German,
Right.
and I remember what we had to do in Mrs. Tuff's German class. I've never worked so hard. Not worked,
Wow.
but pretended to work so hard. And like silence, it would be silence in the room.
Right.
Because see all the even the bad kids, man, who were fucking scared of her, right? And then by the time you're in third and fourth, she was in the top, so she was doing only credits. So you're with a lot of the SWATs anyway. At this point.
Why do you think she had such an influence like that?
She was just scary, mate. She was all bony and like
Older woman, Victorian looking.
Yeah, it's like she was from a Dickens novel, mate. She could just.
That's exactly what
just
teacher
very.
Exactly.
And like I've seen her deal with like some really challenging young people, pupils, and yeah, she just doesn't take it. It's just absolutely. I don't know how she does it anyway. And then I remember going from that kind of silence, working or trying to work, and into the new German class, which was just nobody speaking German.
Aye.
Nobody writing German.
Nobody speaking the Deutsch.
No. I got my fucking jotter chored the first day, stolen, first day, and I got it back at the end.
Sorry, what's that? Chored?
Chored is in Edinburgh for stolen.
Alright.
Right?
Every day's a school day.
Chorey. And then, yeah, I got it back and it's got like the most inventive swear words I've ever seen. Mother bitch, thunder cunt, all over my jar. Big penises, of course, all the usual.
Oh, is that Hull that done that?
This is stuff. And I was like, what the hell is this? And then what else was happening? Yeah, they were like making jokes to the teacher about certain people being stoned, me included, and like
God,
it just was like, and he was having a laugh. He didn't give a shit. He'd go away, and then what he used to do, right? He if it got really bad, right? If it got really bad, he'd go right. You know who I'm getting? He'd be like, whatever. And he'd go and get Mrs. Tuff.
Oh, right.
And she would come in, mate, and she would fucking...
She was a muscle?
Mate, she was the muscle, man.
Wow.
1 minute her being in that room, not even 1 minute, 30 seconds.
What was the worst she would do?
We'd get all our fucking stuff together.
Wow.
Pretend that I'm working.
I agree with you. I think there's respect for that. Because there's very few teachers I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah.
If any, like maybe that one guy that time.
Yeah.
Who told us his daughter had died.
Yeah.
Was the only time I've seen a guy silence a class.
I tell you what it was. We need to get back to that because I had something else on that because I think that's fucking interesting. So see Mrs. Tuff. She had the gran element because she was in her mid 50s, say.
Mm-hmm.
So she would have been our gran's age, most of our gran's age.
Right.
And nobody says no to a gran. No, really, unless you're absolutely raging.
Aye. Your elders.
You know what I mean?
Aye.
That's
Aye.
what that's. But at the same time, she had that strength and no bullshit.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a soft gran, it was a hard gran.
I had a teacher very much like her. I mean, I'll leave this full story for another time because there's a lot to it. She was a witch, right? Her name's Miss Hammond. I hope her family hear this because they need to know she was a witch.
Yeah.
And she destroyed my life. I mean, this woman... I was in the dumb classes, primary 1, 1B, 2B, 3B. That was like the dummy ones. Dumb. By about primary 4, they must have had a meeting about me and went, oh, he's a wee bit smarter than we give him credit for. And I get moved into 4A. Then I got 5A, 6A, then 7A, which was Miss Hammond's class. Now, this was like gone back in time. You'd walk from one side of the school with the whiteboards and the modern, into her room. She had the single desks, right? Like the Victorian, no single, double desks. Somehow they were double, I remember that.
Oh, so you'd have to sit next to somebody.
Aye, but she'd never let you sit next to another, so like you couldn't sit next to another male.
Aye.
If you were a male.
Aye.
And vice versa. She would... So I just quickly, you walk through one side, so you go into her, it was like 1910 in her room, big giant blackboard, the old school blackboards, right, dusters and all of that. She would, first of all, as you were walking in the class, she would go, shows your nails, every day, shows your nails, and people would shake, right, she was that terrifying, this woman. Go and clean your nails, that's disgusting, I think because I bit my nails, I never had dirty nails. But I remember people up scrubbing their nails. Like, she used to do this every day to people.
Wow.
And she would do this horrifying thing. Now, her class was silent because people were terrified of her. And I was doing alright in her class. I was actually like, I knew she didn't like me, but I was keeping myself out of trouble. I was kind of proud of myself in that. And she would do this thing where she would sort of Miranda about the class as we were working quietly. And she would walk by you and you kind of waiting on it. And she would snap her finger and point in your face and say, 7 times 8. Now, if you didn't say it right then, she would get you 8. Whatever the answer to the sum that she asked, you'd have to then go home and write that X times. So, say it was like 100 was the answer to whatever. You'd have to go and write that out, 100, that same sum, even though just lines of the same sum 100 times.
What?
She was a monster, right? Yeah, there was a lassie. I don't know how this lassie was in the 7A class, right? She was, for want of a better term, she was a bit backward, right? And we all knew that.
Yeah.
And she, nobody had a bad thing to say about her. She was just a poor lassie. And we knew that she was backward as well. That's why I'm a bit confused why she was in that class. And maybe I don't quite get that. And Miss Hammond, so cruel, picked this lassie this day, and she gave her the 2 times table, 2 times 2, right, like your easiest, and we're all, I could hear, there was like, the whole class was like praying that she was going to get it right, and she said 6, and Miss Hammond went nuts at her, like, and this is a lassie who was clearly had
mental
learning
disabilities,
learning
definitely. Yeah.
This woman was a real monster. As I said, I will like to get into this in another, because there's a lot about her. She tortured me, man, like fucked me up. I ended up having to leave her class. Things got so bad, and she was just a bully. And it turned out it's generational. She remembered me because of my dad.
Right.
Right, and that my second name hadn't changed yet. I was still Danny Dixon. She remembered my dad, Ian Dixon. Cards marked. My wee sister ended up in her class and she got treated badly because of me.
Fuck.
Then when I went to secondary school, first day of secondary school, the induction day, I was excited, all big-eyed, and we're going to a new school, and this teacher, who became known as Miss Morrison, she was the head of 3rd year or whatever, walks up to me, I don't know how she knew who I was or anything, there was hundreds of us. She went, Daniel, what's your name? Daniel Dixon. And I went, yes, miss, all wide-eyed and that. Yes, miss. She went, are you anything to do with Ian Dixon? And I went, yes, miss. Ian was my dad. And she went, well, we'll need to keep an eye on you then, won't we? And she just walked away. And I was like, oh, thanks, Dad. Like, day one, they had my card marked. It was like the marker cane. And funnily enough, later in down the line, I ended up having a big run-in with her. And I can't remember, maybe it was some sort of generational. But Miss Hammond, I've got a whole show worth about her. Monster.
Maybe that's part 2 then. We do that next week.
Aye, so any final thoughts?
No.
What about a tip to get out of the depression? Just for the
okay, here's the one that people don't know about. If you need
all real, all legit.
All legit.
Okay.
No jokes at this point, right?
Just like the whole show this time.
Eat a cuckoo. No, my God. Eat an orange. Oranges are actually antidepressants. Bananas don't actually work. If you've heard bananas work, I don't think they do.
Well, that stuff about brain
oranges
food.
work. And try not to eat them before or after meat. You have to eat them kind of on an empty stomach.
Right.
Yeah, that's my. I think that's the best one.
Isn't that what, like, so you'll eat an orange and feel better?
I'll feel better. It's like the best antidepressant.
Psychosomatic?
I don't think so, because I mean, I've tried all sorts of things that don't work.
Aye, true.
So
aye, true.
And,
well,
yeah.
Well, there you go, you feel it here.
Yeah, there you go.
Need to get some oranges.
Yeah, man.
Well, on that note, we'll go on shopping, right?
Orange shopping.
Right, well, that's enough for this week.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks. Sorry for the break. That was my depression.